The difference between honesty, transparency, and vulnerability. Let me go ahead and play this clip.
Person would tell you the truth if you ask them.
Right.
A transparent person will show you the truth if you just look. If you look, I will show you.
Yeah.
But a vulnerable person will offer you the truth and you never have to reach for it.
That's good.
And so you want to be able to be honest. But see, if we're in a marriage and I'm just honest with you, that's not enough. No. Because you have to know what to ask me.
Right. And so if I don't feel like I'm getting the answers because I never asked, I don't feel safe.
Then I'm technically not wrong here.
Right.
But like, if you look and you see something is wrong with my limp or my eyes right now, like my eyes. So my eye is low, so you can see. And if you're looking, then I'll tell you, like, this is going on with my eye, right? You're looking, you can see, so I'm showing you.
Yeah.
But vulnerability says you don't see what's going on in the internal, and I just want to tell you something that you don't know, and you wouldn't even know to ask, even on a good day.
Right.
So to be vulnerable is to offer, and that is risky.
It's so risky because you don't know what's going to come of that.
Absolutely.
As the person who's being vulnerable, you don't know what comes of it. Is that person going to shame you, ridicule you? Is it going to come back in another conversation?
All right, let me go ahead. The difference between honesty, transparency, and vulnerability. Who wants to go first? Who's eager? Who agrees, doesn't disagree? Go ahead, Shan. I see you shaking your head. What's going on?
Listen, I wish I had that video yesterday because that was the entire conversation we were having last night, and I just did not have the words for it. But that video just summed it all up. I love that video. I think that that's the absolute truth. And I think a lot of people, especially if you're in a relationship, that makes a lot of sense. But they were talking about from a marriage standpoint. I would even say from a dating standpoint, that makes a lot of sense. I don't know where you want me to go with this, but I do like the video. I like I love the video. I like what he's saying.
Okay, I'm gonna come back to you, Shan. I got it. You like the video?
I promise.
You came on.
Go ahead, One Country.
Like the video. You want to go
I just needed that video. Like that video was awesome.
It was almost like she got full.
Listen, you don't even know the conversation I had last night. That video was on point, and I wish I had it the day before yesterday. But, okay.
I feel like even though there's a difference between the three, they're also somewhat scaffold or like building blocks to each one of the next or steps. So they're definitely different. I agree. You can be honest with someone without being transparent or vulnerable. And sometimes honesty can also come off as being mean. That's what I've learned about myself. Being transparent is kind of like that halfway point where you're trying to see if this person, let me be transparent with them and see how they react. And then you finally get to, if you can make it to vulnerability with someone, that's when you're taking that big risk, and then you're either going to take an L, or if you're with somebody that's good and understanding, a kind soul, a good person, they'll understand when you're being vulnerable with them and won't ball you up, laugh at you, and throw you in the garbage, Kobe style. So yeah, I think they're all very different, but one and the same, and you need one in order to progress to the other.
All right. Go ahead, Hank. What's wrong?
Kaya made some inflammatory statements, and a friend backed it up with that bullshit talking about she might be scared of me. So, it had me thinking of, another great philosopher, of Aaron Hall. And he said, don't be afraid. I'm as gentle as a kitten. So before I go and answer the question, I just had to put that shit out there. So
let's just fight. At this point, let's just fight. At this point.
I'm definitely not scared. But
I know that's right. But the answer to the question, the difference between honesty, transparency, and vulnerability, to me, there's not that much difference. If I'm honest with you, that means I'm showing my vulnerability by telling you the truth, however it comes out. And I'm being transparent on how I feel. So let me give you an example. If I see a heifer out here and I tell her, yeah, this ain't gonna work between me and you. You don't have no respect for me. Matter of fact, you did disrespectful to the point that you don't even respect my time, say with my son or my daughter. When I am with them, you always want to call me and nag me and ask me when I'm coming home, where I'm at, and all that. And I told you already, I'm with my son, and me and my son need to have a conversation because he's got some things going on at school that me and him need to talk about. You know what I'm saying? He's dealing with a young lady that that a long distance. So now I'm telling you the truth. I'm being transparent and I'm being vulnerable with you.
No, you want me to
But
do
yet,
that for you? I can pull the
yeah,
teacher out of me. That's not how that works. You want? Can I go real quick?
no.
Okay.
So to me, I don't see that much of a difference between that. And so if I'm telling you and being honest with you and being upfront with you and being transparent, let you know what's going on and all that, and being vulnerable with you at the same time by telling you, hey man, I'm going through some shit, man. My grandfather passed away last year. I'm still dealing with it. I know it's been a year ago, but I'm still going through it. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm being honest and I'm being transparent, showing you where I stand and how I'm feeling. The emotions all over my face. So I don't see that much of a difference. But it's obvious Cookie's ready to go, so I'm gonna turn the mic over to her.
It's
All right, before
quick.
she go, like the definition of heifer is a young female cow that has not been born a calf. Go ahead.
So honesty. Hey, you overtalk people a lot. Transparency. You overtalk people a lot, and you did it to me the other day, or you did it to me just now. Vulnerability. You overtalk people. You did it to me just now, and that makes me feel like you don't care about what I have to say. That's the difference. That's how that builds up. That's scaffolding 101. So now, if you throw all that in the same sentence, yeah, you're doing all three. But the fact of the matter is, there's still three separate things. So that's all I wanted to say.
I think Cookie made a good point in terms of as an adult, that should probably be the steps in which a relationship goes. Because you can be honest about a lot of things, but until a person is able to be in that with you, they won't truly understand. They won't know what to ask. So I think, whereas you'll have some people that start off backwards, you know, with the quote unquote love bombing, some people start at vulnerability and then that's like, oh, all the questions to ask, it drops your defenses. But that right there, honesty, transparency, vulnerability, I think those are realistic steps if you're dating. You know what I mean? I didn't always start like that. And the vulnerable part is the hardest part because then a lot of questions are going to come with that. So that's pretty much giving somebody agency over what scares you, what bothers you, your emotions. Like when you're at that point, they know exactly what to say to piss you off or to hurt you or to make you feel good or to make you feel bad. You know what I mean? So I think that should be the last thing that you allow somebody to have a part of. You know what I mean? I think the first two would be tests. You're trying to see if they even have the ability to handle honesty. Because people could be honest all day long, but if you don't know what questions to ask, like I always used to joke. I remember I put a post on Facebook. I was like, when you going out on a first date, you know, like for my homegirls, I was like, when you going on a first date, ask a dude like, yo, are you getting married on Friday and do you have a baby on the way? I'm being funny, but some of their situations, it was crazy stuff like that. You know what I mean?